everybody. Welcome to Beautiful Broken. I'm your host, Brittany Mahan, and I am back in studio, which is super, super exciting. Quarantine, I don't even remember the last time I was here, to be honest. It's definitely a couple months ago, and that's just kind of when the world just flipped upside down. But happy phase 2, everybody. You know, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and we are starting to see it, whether you want to truly believe that or not. Not everything terrible lasts forever, which is a good thing. And I think what's awesome about it is this week, phase 2 starts, and our topic today is all about toxic relationships, which toxic relationships are just so tricky. I mean, I think if, you're over 17, 18, you've definitely probably been in one. And I think we can all relate to how belittling and tough and just detrimental to your health they really, really are, whether you know it. And I think the scariest thing about being in a toxic relationship is when you're in it, you don't even see it. And then when you get out of it, you want to be desperately so back in it because the chaos was better than being alone. So we have all of that me and Bianca will talk about tonight. I'm super excited to hear what she has to say. She shared a little bit about her toxic relationship and how she overcame it. And I think having these conversations, especially, as women, and especially men too, like I'm just not a guy, right? So I can't just speak for men. Like if I had, a host matter, it didn't happen. Like it's not easy. And I would love for our generation to be more open about it. And not just our generation, I feel like the world to be more open about, toxic relationships. And it doesn't just have to be with your spouse. It doesn't just have to be with your partner. It's with your sisters, with your brother, with your mom, with your dad. Like a toxic relationship is a relationship with anybody that causes you pain, that causes you, suffering. And again, I don't think that's a topic that a lot of people talk about. So before we get started, I just want everyone to do this for me. And that's a little weird, but just do it with me. I want you to close your eyes. I want you to put your hands on your heart. I want you to take a deep breath. And I just want you to really feel your heartbeat and just say to yourself, I'm opening my heart to whatever loves that wants to flow into me. All right, now that that's done, I want to go to commercial break, and I want to come back, and we'll talk to Bianca a little bit more about this.
Hey, look, it's those guys.
What's good? What's up? What's happening today?
Let's hit those pearly whites, man.
Yeah. Okay, boys, check it. Yeah.
Stand up, do my chair is gonna compare us. Go.
Ooh, cute.
Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
Hey girl, what's up? What's the name? What's good? What's up?
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Sir, go and step out of the vehicle for me.
Yes, sir. See ya, buddy. Today, Sean's got a hearing. We'll see how it goes. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Welcome back to all of our live audience out there. We're having a little connection issue, so if it's delayed or if it's here and then it goes away, this whole thing will be recorded and we're going to play it right after, we record this whole episode. So you'll be able to watch it again at any time on Beautiful Broken's Facebook. Also, please like this, share it, and then go to Beautiful Broken's Facebook page, like us on that, and then also give us a like on Instagram, which is beautifulbroken.tv. So before we bring in Bianca, me and her created this video, and she just speaks from her heart. And I think with everything going on in this world today, you can really feel her emotion behind it. And I want you guys to take a look at it.
Dear toxic relationship, you can be beat. It may be hard. It may take a while. But just trust me on this. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And listen to yourself. Ask yourself, is this what I want for the next month? Is this where I see myself in the next 5 years? Do I want this for my future? Do I want this for my kids? This isn't me. It's not myself. Something just doesn't feel right. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Well, I may be crazy, but I'm not wrong. And I know what I want for myself. And I know that I create my own destiny and that I pave my own pathway to the success in life. I don't want this. When I look in the mirror, I see a powerful woman, someone who wants change, someone who can stand up for herself, someone who has the courage to turn around and say, I'm done. It's over. I'm free.
Oh, hey, baby girl. I think you're muted still. Hold on, I can't hear you.
I was.
How are you doing, beautiful?
I'm doing good, thank you. How are you?
Good. Thanks for joining me. I know this is kind of like a definitely, a touchy subject for you. And honestly, as we start to talk, my last relationship was super, super toxic, so we can definitely connect on that. But let's just kind of go back into like your story and just get us started with, who you are and what you stand for.
Well, thank you once again for having me. I've been so excited to be here. But first and foremost, I definitely understand what it is like to be in a toxic relationship. And what I want to make a little bit clear, maybe people don't quite understand it. And I feel like it's maybe kind of not talked about as much as other types, but it is a different side of a toxic relationship when the abuse is coming verbally. I feel like it's a lot different and people deal with it kind of differently. And that's what I kind of want to bring to attention today. More or less the ways of dealing with it as well. Mm-hmm. Throughout my experience with a toxic relationship, what I've really seen is kind of, I think what you mentioned in the beginning, a lot of people don't realize it's toxic until I feel like, not until it gets bad, but until it's at a point where it's almost a breaking point. Yep. For me, mm-hmm. That's what I think it was, a really big awakening point was when it got so bad. I know that we talked about it a little bit, but just through the verbal abuse over time, it just breaks you down. I remember it was like so many nights where I was sitting out on my lawn crying, like, why God, like, why did this happen to me?
Oh God, yeah.
But then again, I believe God puts you in certain predicaments. You're in these situations for a reason. And I think that it was really important for me to go through that and understand, like, hey, abuse isn't just physical.
Absolutely. Most of the abuse
It can
I've
be
gone
mental.
through. Yes. Most of the abuse I've gone through too is verbal abuse. It's the name calling, it's the belittling, it's the little jabs when you're not ready for it. Like, you're doing your hair, you kind of want that, like, oh, you look good today, babe, and it's like, why are you wearing that? And you're like, wait, why should I wear that? Should I not wear that? Like,
right? I know, and it's kind of just like a wake up call, like, is this something that I want for myself, because then again, once you go through something like that, you kind of understand, like, there's people in this world that are normal that don't want to tear and bring you down, and that's not right, and people who do that to other people aren't okay with themselves and, aren't developed as a person because they want to tear other people down, so it's just better in that type of thing. Once you do face it and kind of say, hey, maybe am I in this type of relationship? I feel like you gotta take care of it fast. I had this one point in my relationship where I actually called I shouldn't laugh at this. I called a hotline, an abuse hotline, and I was actually talking to this woman. I wish I could remember it, more, because this is like back in 2016, but I talked to her for a bit, and she was helpful.
What was the biggest tip she gave you?
Oh, Brittany.
I know.
I don't know, to be honest, but you know what? She did like I didn't after that. Like,
why were you trapped in it though? Because like I think that was my hardest thing was I was like, why did I stay? Like, there was red flags, yet I was there and I stayed. Like, what was it at the beginning that made you not want to keep fighting for it? Because that's honestly what it was. You did love him, obviously.
Yeah, but I think it was kind of, for me, it felt nice, I guess, having a boyfriend per se. But now the thing was, I was like, not for nothing taking care of this person. There was one point where they actually got banned from my work. They actually they came in. I was working when I was working at retail. I was at the counter. They came up to the counter, demanded for my keys. I was like, no, like, you're not taking my car at work.
Right.
So I kind of like walked away. They followed me into a bathroom. I actually stayed in the bathroom for a while. Needless to say, I mean, of course I'm working in retail, watching this all on camera, came out and they were like, hey, Bianca, like, I need, you to help me out with something. And I kind of was like, okay, sure. Because needless to say, in my prior working days, I would never talk to this individual. I know that, he didn't need my help. He was trying to save me from the situation. So he actually brought me back into the security room and I see all these cameras. He's like, we've been watching you for like the past 30 minutes, like the way he's talking to you. And we just want to know, we want to let you know that, this behavior is not okay. And we can tell by your mannerism and his mannerism that something is wrong. And I just want to let you know that this person is not allowed back into this area. They're not allowed on the property. And we understand, what's going on and we want you to be okay. And they kind of were like, if you want to talk about this, we're here for you. And that was a really big wake up call for me too, because I'm like, oh my God, they're watching this and they kind of are picking all of this up and they really don't know the half of it. They don't know what goes on at home and stuff like that. So over time, I kind of did ignore those signs and it got worse. It did. It got worse. And that's why I say, a big thing of it goes back to a lot of people don't realize when they're in it. And I know this sounds weird, but you gotta listen to people around you. When your friends say, like, this person's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm not supposed to say
I know. I heard it, but I was like, whatever.
Oh, God, are we going to get...
We're not going to get shut down. You're good.
Oh, my God. I need to go lock my bedroom door. But, like, when they say that, not for nothing, you got to listen to them after a while because it's like they're kind of seeing the outside of it and the outside perspective, and they're like, hey, like, this shit isn't... Oh, sorry. Oh, my God. I haven't been on camera in a while. I need to, like, I'm a little dusty, sorry.
No, you're good.
But there's, you know, seeing that this isn't healthy, you know,
Right.
and they want to help you out, but you know, sometimes kind of brush it off because you have these blinders on.
Now, would you say
And
when
you don't realize.
when you met him, would you say that you were happy or were you depressed and you were looking for someone to fill a void in your life?
That's a good question. I don't know. Probably. I would say probably that was it. Because, like I said, I probably ignored more signs, and you know, we started talking actually online a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and we didn't really get to talk much in person.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I'm not dissing long distance relationships and like meeting online, but I do feel that it is very important to first off see someone in person, because I think, I mean, I'm not the person that I am or I was a few years ago, but I think maybe say now I would have been able to pick up on it more. And if I maybe kind of pushed back the relationship and let it happen more in person, maybe I would have been able to see that this person was not who they said they were.
Isn't that, oh my goodness, let's talk about people not saying they are who they are. So I'm not going to lie to you. I just got, I wouldn't say dumped, but I got like full blown rejected today with the whole "I don't want you" phrase.
Oh,
I know, girl. Oh my God. I came in, I'm like, Mike, I'm pissed. He's like, what happened? Sit down.
please come down here after. I can text you my address.
Oh
I
yeah,
have
let
some
me
wine
come
and
over because
stuff.
I need to talk this out. I mean, we're gonna talk about it here, but like, girl, like, we'll get into
But
some
privately.
details. Yeah, because it's just, it was when we first met, right? So we went on a date. It happened to be Valentine's Day, and at first everyone's like, oh, first date on Valentine's Day, like that seems like a lot, and it was to me because I loved this one guy since I was 11. Like, he was like my first love and I never let him go. And then this jerk shows up after 7 years, bawling his eyes out, telling me he wants to kill himself, telling me he's miserable, he can't live life, he's in an abusive relationship, he gets abused all the time. And like, of course I loved him, you know what I mean? In our hearts as women and men, but like, I guess empaths, I would say, are so giving when it comes to love because we just hate seeing people suffer. Is that something you can relate to?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
Like, I hate seeing people suffer. So if you come to me and you're sad and you're emotional, like, I just want to give you so much love because I'm like, oh my God, like, don't hurt anymore.
Yes.
So this jerk literally manipulates me completely, tells me everything I want to hear, and of course he's my first love, right? So why would he lie to me? He would never lie to me. And long story short, pays a $250 Uber from the Cape, Ubers to my place, okay, at like 2 a.m, bawling his eyes out, telling me he can't live without me, telling me he's like madly in love with me, head over heels for me. I'm like holding him as he's sobbing. We like hook up, leaves, like spends the next day together with me, looks at me, tells me he loves me, like dead in the eyes, like, you know, I love you and I'll never love anyone like you. And I'm like, okay, I know, I love you too, I'll talk to you later. I never hear from him again. Never hear from him again. And I'm just like, okay. So my wall was up, dude. Like, it was up. I was like, I'm never falling in love again. I'm never doing it. It's not happening. It's not happening. And then I meet one guy online, and I actually knew him from when I was like a kid. And I was like, you know what? He seems safe. I've known him since I was a kid. Maybe he'll be, you know, one that I can kind of like shoot, you know, roll my dice with. Really, really long story short, he does the whole thing, Bianca. I told him I didn't like pillows at his house, right? I was just like, I'm not really a fan of the pillows that you have at your house. Buys me new pillows. I was like, I don't really feel comfortable sleeping here. Buys me, you know, makeup wipes, razors, shaving cream. Does all the things that I really was like, oh my God, like, this guy obviously loves me. Like, who treats a girl like that if he doesn't care about her? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, today, he's like, I don't want you. I don't want you. And I'm like, okay. So now I'm like, how do we let love in now that we've let our guard down so many damn times? How do we now, what do we look for to show that a guy actually cares about us, or that a person actually cares about you? What do you look for in people?
Oh my God. I mean, I don't even know. I'm like, I'm lost for words, but like, you know, not for nothing. this relates to, I guess, back to getting to know them, I think, one-on-one as a person. I mean, I know sometimes that can be a little hard, but really, trust, and I would say friendship to start off with, because, I think you have to know someone on that type of level, get to know them that way before you kind of establish more of a different kind of relationship per se, because then, you don't want to get yourself hurt and get in those situations. And two, I mean, I think it's really weird that he would go do all that stuff and then turn around and, say whatever he said, I don't want you. That's like really weird, and it's like, you need to find out who you are as a person, if you're going to treat other people like that. That's just, like, why wouldn't he have figured that out before?
Right. And that's what I have to say to everybody out there watching this. Like, if you are not ready for a serious relationship, like, do not act like you are then, and then turn it around and completely take it all back. Because, I mean, women and men we all have our guards up, right? And I think that's what's happening in today's society. And I think this is why toxic relationships are so horrible for society, is because, Bianca, you were in a relationship with a man who you trusted and you thought, yes, loved you. He burned you, and now you have your guard up for the next relationship.
Exactly, yeah.
And it's like, we're dealing with broken hearts that we didn't break.
But sometimes, too, then again, to me, though, I feel like a part of it is nice, because then again, though, it doesn't set you up for failure. It sets you up, like, I don't know how to put this. It kind of, like, sets you up for something better, because it's like, okay, this is how people can act. These are the signs. This is something I don't want. This is something I'm going to try to avoid. And then you know what it is, too, actually. A lot of times after these things happen, you got to take time for yourself, and you got to heal. I don't think, I do know some people, and I've seen it before, they get out of relationships and they're in one, right after that. And it's like, how do you have time to heal and know what you want for yourself if you're just in back and forth relationships, like, it just, I don't know.
What were the signs? So, like, if I was someone watching this and I didn't know that I was in a toxic relationship, what was something like that? How did your relationship start, and how did it progress?
You know what, though? The thing is, and this is actually, like, and I'm not mean, I just like tough love. But the thing is, if you're in a toxic relationship, you know that you are. A lot of people, and I've seen this before, they know they're in a bad relationship and they don't want to admit it. They ignore the signs because they are so desperate for that relationship. You gotta, not for nothing, man up. And you got to take care of it, because you can't keep playing the victim.
That's, yes.
I think it's a time to, or like a matter of maturity and stuff like that. Like, deep down, every individual is strong, but you just have to have that motivation. For me, what it was, how I left it, was, like I said, stuff started to get bad. There was this point where I was just driving down the highway in my car, and this individual was just putting my car in park. They ripped my glasses off my face, and I was covered in water. They poured water all over me, and it was to a point where I was on the side of the highway, and there was police, and I was like, it's done.
Wow.
It's done. Yeah.
What were you, not to go into your past, but what made you accept that treatment for so long?
A part of it, the manipulation, you think it's somewhat after hearing you're a bad person so much, sometimes you question, you're like, am I really a bad person? And if you're not developed as an individual, you will accept that.
Isn't that crazy? And it's like they cast spells on us, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's why I say, though, too, you can't cut people out. A lot of times when you're in an abusive relationship, they want you to not talk to anyone. I would wake up and I would have people deleted off my Facebook.
No.
It was so weird. Oh my God. When I was sleeping, there's been times where I would wake up and I would catch this individual on my phone in the middle of the night, and I'd be like, what are you doing? Like, it's dead in the night. Why are you on my Facebook, like looking through messages and stuff like that? Like, it was just like really like shady, like, I don't know, like weird stuff. But I do think that you should not isolate yourself. That's when things, that's when it gets bad, I think. But always listen to your friends, always listen to your family, accept advice. A lot of people love to ask for advice and they don't like to listen.
I know.
Never understood that. Never understood it.
My favorite thing is talking to strangers. I know this is our first time meeting like via face, but I've heard your name around.
But this is but it really
it really is.
I never, I don't even know how tall you are.
I'm 5'4", but how tall are you?
I can't tell. I'm just kidding. I'm 5'2".
Oh, you're a little nugget. That's cute though. No, but just to kind of sidetracked, but just to kind of get back to what we're talking about. No, I think that the thing with toxic relationships is it starts like, I think people attach pain to love is what I truly believe. And I think that a lot of people do think if they don't have to suffer, because I suffer because I give my love away too much. Like people are like, Brittany, literally one of the things the dude said to me today, I don't want your love. I don't want it. And I'm like, oh my God, like I don't know what to do with all this love. I don't know where to put it. I'm like, I have so much love inside of me that I just want someone to be like, come here. I can take it. And is it being a coward? Are people cowardly lions when it comes to accepting and receiving love?
What do you mean by that?
Like, I'm wondering if people think love's pain, right? Which means you have to suffer to receive someone's love. Then if someone were to just give you free love and free kindness, are you rejecting it because you don't appreciate it and you don't think that you're worthy of it?
No, because I don't know. I don't know.
It's a good question, right?
Yeah, well, I don't feel like, because like, no, I don't want to sound weird, but I don't feel that love is pain. Like, I think that love should be painless, and I think that, I don't know.
To me, love is painless. Right. And to me, love is free. But I keep meeting men out there who I want to talk to. And like, I'm a lover, dude. Like, I'm not going to lie. This is going to sound so corny to everybody out there. I'm sorry. Like, I express my feelings. Obviously, I have a show about feelings. So I wrote this dude a letter. I wrote him a letter telling him how I feel about him. I know, and I sent him the damn letter, and it didn't work out in my favor. So don't send letters.
Oh my God! Don't make me laugh. If you sent me a letter, I think I'd fucking move. I'm just kidding. No, you are beautiful. But no, I understand.
But it wasn't a creepy letter. It was like, listen, this is how I'm feeling, and like, to be fair, I even ended it with like, I don't think you feel the same way, but I hate, you know how many stories there are where people break up or people don't work out, and the number one thing they say is, oh my God, I didn't know you cared.
Yes.
Like, I'm just about letting people know I care. And I don't know, should I toughen up? Should I not? Like, is that not the thing? Should I not let people know I care about them? Should I be like hard about it and be like, no, I don't care about you?
No, I think that you should, but I think that it should happen over a certain time span, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't think it should be something right away, per se. You know what I mean? I know it may be hard, but I wouldn't do it right away because, too, not everyone is who they say they are.
Right. I always believe people. And people want to call me gullible. I wouldn't say I'm gullible. I would just say I'm trustworthy because I'm not a liar. Like, who you see right now is who I am, whether I'm in front of a camera, whether I'm behind the camera. Like, I don't change. Like, you're meeting Brittany Mahan and what I stand for. So when I meet somebody and they represent themselves in one light and then they flip it, I'm like, what just happened here? Like, who does that?
Right? I know. A lot more people than you would think, right?
What would be your signs that you look for? Because I'm help me. Like, I don't know. I tried. This dude, I tried. I really thought he was a good guy. I really did. And obviously he's not who I thought he was. And I don't know what to look for anymore. Do you know what to look for when a guy's a good guy?
I mean, I think that when it happens, like I I hate to be so vague about it, but like when it is there and it happens, you'll know. You won't have to try, and it will feel genuine. I don't think, like, I've always said, you know, when I try to give like people the same kind of thing, if they ask this not general type of question, but this kind of general response I have is just like, let things happen, and once you don't think about that and focus on it, something will happen. The more that you think and think and think and think about it, and just like you're gonna obsess over it, like people that like obsess over their diets and stuff like that, eventually it gets unhealthy, and they like, you know, think themselves sick, and they're friggin' anorexic, you know what I mean? But I think that once you relax your mind, come at peace with yourself, get yourself on a good routine, become healthy, get healthy habits, then what you put out into the world is going to come back to you, if that makes sense.
100%.
Then, you know, you'll establish more genuine connections when you kind of just like, you know, take a step back and take it easy and don't really strive for that.
What was your first step? No, that totally makes, because it's funny because like I have been throughout all of quarantine, like as much as I was like I thought I was talking to somebody, I didn't see them because I spent the quarantine times alone. I'm 2 months without drinking. Like I work out, you know what I mean? So,
oh wow,
yeah, thank you.
Good for you. That's awesome.
Thank you. I definitely have taken that step towards self-improvement. And when you do, it was like as much as it sucked to hear what he had to say to me, I honestly like hung up the phone and I was like, I don't really care, because at the end of the day, when you start taking care of yourself and you know your self-worth, it's like nothing you have to say is going to offend me. Like, okay, thank you for letting me know that you're not my man, because my man's still out there and it just ain't you. So I'm not wasting any more damn time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but buzz off on to the next.
Right.
Literally.
Like I don't have time. Like I'm a woman. I know what I want, and if it's not you, like don't fit in a shoe that I have saved for someone super special. Like if you're not that special person, then keep it moving. Like
exactly.
And it takes a long time. It doesn't take that long, but what would you say to help women and men out there who are suffering with, because I think what it comes down to is self-worth, right?
Yes, it does. Right, it does.
And if you are in a relationship that is toxic, you almost feel like you kind of deserve it. And that's how I felt in my toxic relationship. Like I felt like I constantly had to prove my love and prove that I was worth loving. I don't know if that's something that you could relate to.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, because I feel like that's really half of that's what it's about, you know, because not for nothing, when you're in these toxic relationships, it's really a lot of fighting back and forth, and you're like, you know, at the end, I know that you have been a victim of it. And when you're at that end, it's a lot of defending yourself. You know what I mean? I didn't do this. I love you. I'm sorry. This, that, you know, so.
Right. Yeah, I had a similar car situation. I had one guy, he was like my recent ex. He literally screamed because some dude that was like not even attractive walked me to his car, and he screams and he locks the door and he just yells for like 15 minutes at me and then just passes out. And it's like, I was so scared to move. I was so scared to get out of the car. And I think that's the number one thing is like, people who are toxic, they move with fear, right? So they want to put fear in you, right?
Yep.
And when you don't have fear for anybody, it's like hard for that. You're not that person for them, because they want someone that they can control. They want someone that they can make, you know, you better not do this because I'm going to get angry at you. And they use anger.
Yep. And the alternatives. Yep.
And I think that's what you guys, everyone out there has to look for, like watch out for. Like if you are with somebody and you know they're testing you, like if they're testing you in a healthy way, I think then that's normal. But if they're testing you in a way where, you know, they're doing things to get you angry on purpose just to see how you will react, that's not love.
Not cool.
No.
Nope.
What is love to you? What is your definition of love?
Like I said, love is free. Love is what you feel from, you know, your family, your relatives. It should always be that warm type of feeling, you know, and it comes back to that. Like a lot of people are manipulative like that, and you just have to come to a time and you have to say to yourself, I have to leave, you know, and I hate to say it, but you have to man up and really just do it and get out of it, you know. Like I said, it comes back to a lot of the times people, you know, you're in an abusive relationship. A lot of times, you know, people, you have this intuition and people ignore their feelings, and you know, it always will come back and bite you in the ass. I should have listened to myself. I should have done this. I should have done this. You know, you got to just nip it in the butt right when you can, as soon as you can.
What was your first step into healing? Because as soon as you get because I think what you need is, you said man up. In other words, I say courage. You need the courage.
Yes.
Because you're walking away.
Nicer way.
Because you're walking away from something and you're going to be alone. And not only are you going to be alone, you're a wounded like soldier. It's like you've been fighting this battle for so long and now you're alone and you're literally like bleeding out everywhere and you have to make yourself like feel better on your own. So
you just made it sound so horrible. Like, yes, that is the truth. Yes. But I think of it like, you know, alone is a good thing. It's great. You're free. You have broken the chains. The abuse, hopefully, if it was just verbal, you broke before it got physical. You are alive. You're safe. You know, thank God some people, you know, God forbid, pray to them, but they get in these abusive relationships and they get pregnant. That is
my cousin at my first episode with one of my cousins, she was in a super controlling abusive relationship and she has his kid now, and he's not in their lives. Would say for the
but that's hard because it's like I'm not like I don't want to sound any type of way, but for me, like I don't know, I've never had a kid, but to have a kid with someone who you're abused through, I feel like it would be a lot harder to let go.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
Every time you see the kid, like, that's why I say you gotta leave fast.
It's just crazy because I think that's the number one thing that people don't understand. And honestly, there's not a show where young women talk about this stuff. So I'd love to talk about it with you. How connected women get to men after we have sex with them is so crazy. Like, I don't know. Are you able to just kind of disconnect that sexual? Because I know nowadays women are doing it. Women can do it. Women can, you know, be F girls and go around from one guy to another. And I mean, I think it's a talent. I can't. I get very emotionally involved when I do choose to sleep with somebody. How are you in that sense?
I feel like it depending on how you approach the situation. You know, it really all depends. I feel like, say, if you ask this type of question to someone that's in college.
No, I mean, I definitely, right. In college, I definitely, you know, did my thing.
You know what I mean? I mean, I've never been to college, but like, for me though, I don't really feel that type of way. I would say it's half and half. It really kind of depends on how you approach the situation. Like, I don't know. Half of me says yes, but then the other half says no.
Okay, that's interesting. Because I do get attached when I do choose to do that. But then at the same time, adding a baby on top of that is like, I couldn't imagine bringing life to someone who doesn't appreciate the fact that I just went through the most excruciating pain in my entire life, which was childbirth, and you're not even appreciating it. Like, what?
Yeah, I know.
Stop it right now.
A lot of people are very quick to, I don't know.
Would you say you gave your ex love and he didn't appreciate it? Was that the number one thing? Or were you not giving yourself the love that you deserve?
I would say both. More or less like me giving the love. I mean, because like, not for nothing. It was like I took care of him, really, you know. He was like on damn drugs the whole time, so, you know.
Yeah. No, I get that. I mean, no, but like, this is why I just love women so much. And I do love men too, but that's a different episode. I'm focusing on my ladies here tonight.
Wow.
Well, I love women, not like that, but I just love how, I'm not gay, but I just love.
Are you asking me out?
I want to go on a date after. I just love how caring and giving, and like, we will see a broken man and we just want to nurture them. We want to care for them. We want to hug them. We want to make sure that they know they're loved and they're cared for. And if a guy comes from a broken background or is on drugs or something like that, I think he rejects our love. And you can't make somebody accept love when they're not ready to accept it. And I think that's super hard for us as women to see a man, know he needs love, give him love, have him reject the love, and then be like, all right, that's it, I got to bounce because you're going to this isn't going to be good. But
Yeah.
when you took a step into becoming a healthier person, like what was your first step, and then how did it increase?
I mean, to be honest, I don't know what my first step was really. I guess just realizing it was over, and coming to peace. And I spent a lot of time, like I said, by myself doing things I like, bonded with my family because, of course they saw that side, and once I was out of it, they were happy themselves. But I guess really, I think my first step was just being alone.
Mm-hmm.
And finally having a mental break,
Did you go on dates
Sleeping.
alone?
Did I what?
Did you ever go on dates alone?
What do you mean alone?
Like yesterday, I went on a date by myself.
Whoa, who else would you bring on a damn date?
Right now, nobody, because I was like hungry. There was a
Okay.
restaurant that was open, so
But generally, you wouldn't meet with them alone?
No. I'm saying like literally by yourself. Like, would you ever take yourself out to dinner? With just you?
Oh, no. Oh my God, no, but I'm creepy. I'm weird though. I'm very weird. Like, no, I'm a strange person. I've one time thought about going to the beach by myself, but I'm like, oh my God, no, no.
Honestly, it's a
around
challenge.
people.
It's a challenge because, and I think I thrive off of that challenge. So like when I got out of my toxic relationship, what made me stronger was doing that thing. Like I went to the beach by myself.
Wow, good for you.
It was
Geez,
huge.
good for
I went to the
you.
drive-in movies alone.
I know. See, I used to work with a girl. She would travel. She went to a concert alone.
Okay,
When
no.
she told me that, I'm like, you're out of your damn mind.
Yeah, my cousin went to a concert alone, and I was like, all right, I don't know if I'd go like that far. Like doing isolated stuff is fine, but when you do things alone, right? When you do step out of your comfort zone, when you do go out to that dinner date for one, when you do go to the drive-in movies, when you do something that you think you need someone else with, you kind of start to really realize that your company is fun and you're the fun person. You know what I mean? Did you start
Really? I should
realizing
try that.
You should,
No, I've
love.
I've never oh my God. That's funny that you say that because I don't think that I would ever think of going out to eat with myself alone. It's like I'm a freaking baby, but no,
oh, you should.
Oh my God.
Because it's so like literally, I sat down. The waiter came over. He's like, "Oh, hey, beautiful. Like, how you doing?" Blah blah blah. I'm like, "Oh, nothing. I just got a water. It has a beautiful view." And then I'm sitting there, and I'm just like, I ordered my steak. I don't have to like argue with someone about like what they want or how long I'm taking or whatever. And then I'm just eating my steak, and then it was nice.
Wow, good for you. That sounds really nice. Oh my God. That is good for you.
I can't believe this flew by, but we did create a video for you just kind of to show everyone out there what you do. Mike put it together, so I wanted to show you.
Thank you.
I'm here in the North End, but not for what you would expect. I hear Vito's Tavern has some of the hottest wings around, and I'm ready for this challenge. Damien, what are you doing to me?
Sinful, buttery, juicy, greasy.
So would this be an instance where you try some wings with me?
If you challenge me to, I think I would have. The menu says these effing wings are really effing hot.
So are they?
Oh yeah, they are.
Oh, they are. All right. I'm gonna really heat these wings up for this competition. I know you don't want to do it. Neither do I. Walk away safe. I don't know, but we worked hard on them,
Yeah,
right?
we gotta eat them.
We
all
gotta
right.
give the people what they want to see.
Okay.
All right?
You go first.
I was gonna say you go first. All right.
This is my house. You go first.
Why would you do that to me? Oh my God.
Look at that beautiful girl.
Thank you. That was awesome. Thank you, Mike. If you are listening, which you probably are.
Definitely
that
is.
was awesome.
Yeah,
Thank
we just
you.
wanted to kind of, I know everyone out there didn't really get to know, your personal life, but, if you want to tell people where they can find you and kind of a little bit about you, Just
I
like
know,
briefly.
I love this show, but like I feel sometimes like so like weird, like having people know me to start off if they don't this way, because it's like stuff like this shouldn't define you.
Right.
Define you, but you can find me on Facebook, Bianca Isabella, or Instagram _Bianca Reyes. Those are what I'm mainly on. I would say definitely Instagram, but thanks again though for having me on the show. I'm so glad that I got to be on the show. I always watch and see this show on Facebook all the time, and you are great, Brittany, at what you do, and you are awesome. And it was such a pleasure. And I wish I was actually in the studio with you,
I know,
so we could like drink some wine and talk after. But really, I don't know where you are, but I am around. If you want to hang out, let me know, because I saw your post about working out, and I kind of think that you like to get out and like nature and stuff like that. So if you ever want to hang out, let's
absolutely.
go.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'll get your number. I mean, I have your number. I'll text you when we get off the show for sure. No, you are such a sweetheart. From the beginning, everyone, I had her on my show just because she shared with me a text message. It's actually on my story of what her ex did say to her, and it was just a lot of belittling stuff. And I think in today's society, we only have 4 minutes left, so I'm going to kind of wrap this up. 2 minutes left. I'm going to wrap it up.
Oh, awkward.
Yeah, no, thank you so much, Bianca. I didn't mean to cut you off. I didn't know we only had 2. So kisses to you, and I'm gonna end the show. Thank you, love.
Bye, thank you, everyone. Have a good night. Stay safe.
So thank you everyone for watching tonight. This topic is, I'm just very passionate about people that are mean to others. It's not that hard, you guys, to be a nice person. It really isn't, and it gets my blood just flowing, because it's like, just don't call people names, and don't just, like, if you're hurting, right? So we're in a cycle right now where hurt people. So I'm hurting, so then I'm going to hurt someone because I'm hurting. And it's like, just don't. Just a name. Choose not to belittle somebody. Choose love. Choose it. And it's a choice. If you've been in an abusive relationship before and that's all you know, like, then start Googling what a healthy relationship should feel like. We live in the Google age. So there's really no excuse for you not to know what a good, healthy relationship should be like. And I think the number one most toxic relationship people have is actually with themselves. You know, what do you say to yourself when you look in the mirror? What do you say when you're alone thinking in your room? I don't know if you're alone right now watching this, but what are you saying to yourself? And I think those are the thoughts and those are the emotions that you need to start with. So join me next week. We're going to be talking about something else, another story, another day. Thank you guys. I love you so much, and take care of yourself, please.